Hello, Potato. We have finally just about come to the end of videos from our Disneyland trip in May of 2022. It was a good trip, as I'm sure you can see in the videos. It was quite a bit of fun. And while we've done themed haul videos of Star Wars, Haunted Mansion, and even Cup, I still, much like Loki, find myself burdened with glorious purchase. Yes, today for the final Disneyland 2022 visit haul video, we're going to look at all the things that didn't fit into those other categories. Mostly pins, but there's a couple larger things as well. So we'll start with those. First being, certainly the heaviest item, these. Yep. So while the Pirates of the Caribbean ride may have been closed for renovation, the gift shop was still open, so we went in and snagged from that pesky dog the keys to the cell. Now those pirates will never get out. Yep, is this a dumb thing to purchase? Yeah, possibly, because I mean, if you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. I don't think it even says Disney anywhere on it, aside from the tag. I think it's really just a like a kind of cosplay keyring. But it was, let's see, $16.95. It's nice. I'll put it on a shelf somewhere or hang it off something. They're very heavy and jangly. I think the thing that attracted us to them is that they are actually heavy, jangly metal. They're not like plastic reproductions. Oh, it does say Disney. There we go. Disney. Copyright Disney. China. Well, that's not too terribly surprising. So, yep, now we have our own. Sadly, we cannot get my wife's cat to hold them in its mouth so that we can take pictures like the Haunted Mansion. Not the Haunted Mansion, like Pirates of the Caribbean. So we'll just have to be satisfied with setting them out to display somewhere. And hopefully me not breaking the glass tabletop under the tablecloth here while I look at them. Now the rest of our larger items are more of an artistic bent. So we're gonna need a little stand here to hold this up. So yeah, we bought some artworks, just small things. There's only so much wall space a person has, so you can't get big frame prints. Plus, we already spent way too much on everything else anyways. But we didn't want to leave without some nice pictures that we saw. And luckily, the folks at Disney understand that not everybody can buy a bunch of $300, $400, $500, $1,000 paintings and pictures and prints to put up on their walls. So they've made a lot of them available as postcards. And of course, nobody actually sends postcards anymore, do they? Except like maybe to Post Secret. So, you can get them as little arts, and you can put them in little frames if you want to, or books or whatever. And the first one we have is titled Disneyland Sign by artist Danny Heller. And it is, before my time, certainly, the very classic Disneyland sign, Park, Hotel, open every day. Today, 9 to 10, hotel and restaurant open. Yep, this is clearly very early in Disneyland's life. But you do see the important things. You, of course, got that classic Disneyland sign. Got a not very well hidden Mickey in the clouds there. You can see the Matterhorn in the background, the monorail track, and a couple cars just to give you the idea of exactly when this picture is taking place. And can I tell so the light's not glaring off it? There we go. That's a little better, I think. Now you can see it better, I hope. Here, can we go closer? We can go closer. Yep, just a nice picture. Then of course, they had larger versions of this available, but we just don't have enough wall space for all the art we would love to have. I guess that's why we need to buy a bigger place, so we just have more walls to put more shelves on and put more art on, and that's probably not a good reason to buy a bigger house, though, is it? All right, next we have a piece called Mickey Through the Years. Now, this is not that Walt Disney Family Museum picture that I have that Funko Pop set of. Nope, this is a little different. Hits on a lot of the same notes, but it's done in a very different art style. And I know I mentioned, I think, a couple times about getting strong Artist Alley vibes off of some of the stuff. And this is definitely something that falls in that strong Artist Alley vibe category for me. Because this does look exactly something I could see at SAC Anime. And again, that's not a criticism of the art, because obviously we liked it, we bought it. It is more of a compliment of just, frankly, all the unrecognized artists in Artist Alley. Now, not all artists in Artist Alley are unrecognized artists, but I mean, this is something that Disney is selling as an official item. Then I mean, I have seen better stuff in Artist Alley, but I mean, this is a style. It's not that it's bad. It's just it's a specific style. But we have our Steamboat Willie Mickey up there. We have just kind of old-timey Mickey. It's that Prince and the Pauper Mickey, I think. The Giant Slayer Mickey, I believe. Of course, Christmas Carol Mickey, Band Leader Mickey, and of course, the most important Mickey, we have Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. Actually, I could probably put these on different racks. We can at least see a little bit more of them. There we go. Now it's not in front of the other one. At least for the moment. Yeah, it's a nice artwork, interesting art style. Again, definitely got those Artist Alley vibes off of the way Mickey's drawn, but that's not really a criticism. And we have one more art to look at. And I suppose this potentially could have gone into the Haunted Mansion video, but it's not technically Haunted Mansion. It is the Ajax Ghost Exterminators by Chris Uminga. And again, some strong Artist Alley vibes, but it's from that classic Disney short of Mickey and Donald and Goofy trying to be kind of proto-Ghostbusters. And yeah, it was a very... The art style really jumped out to us. The look of it jumped out to us. It's a very nicely done piece. This is one I kind of like the Haunted Mansion one I showed back in that video that I wouldn't mind having a larger version of. Now, these all said Wonderground Gallery on the back, and I'm sure they may have been there. That's not where we purchased them, though. I think these all came from off the page in DCA. And they were $5.99 a piece, which, I mean, to me, seems a little steep for a postcard. But again, nobody's buying them to use as postcards. That's why they come in little plastic sleeves to protect them, because they don't think we're going to send them to anybody. We know we're not going to send them to anybody. They know we want them kept in the best possible condition, and so they have. All right, so that's it for the big stuff. From here on out, it's all pins. I probably shouldn't have done that, because there's all pins in there. So let's go down a little lower and take a look at all the pins. So let's start off with the largest item, and that's going to be this. We actually got two of these. We each got one, and as you can see, we didn't use them, but they are pin lanyards. And I guess if you go through either booking through Disneyland Hotel or through Costco, you get a pin lanyard. Apparently a different one, though, because they asked us if we'd booked through Disneyland or through Costco. So I guess Costco will probably get a different pin. Maybe a different lanyard, too, but just a very basic lanyard. You could put your ticket in there if you wanted to, or whatever else. I mean, I suppose the idea probably was for fast passes, but they don't do those that way anymore. So there's no physical passes to have, but it's, not the world's nicest, fanciest thing. But you could stick pins to it. It says Walt Disney Travel Company on it. So I would assume that the Costco one probably says Costco Travel or something instead. But, it was a nice little thing that came with it, and of course you got a Disneyland Resort pin with it, which is nice. Mickey backed. Says, yep, Walt Disney Travel Company on it. So, it's something that not everybody can get. Doesn't really make up for the fact that, there's no stuff specifically there for like D23 members, but still nice. It's just Mickey and Minnie, front of the castle, nice and basic. A good pin to start you off, filling up your lanyard while you're on your trip. Next, let's check out the other freebie pin we got, which is our big Plaza Inn Button badge from our character breakfast on the first day. I'm pretty sure I showed this button in the video, but here it is again. Closer look at it. Just, it's a Minnie-themed breakfast, because you do get to take your picture with Minnie ideally when you're on your way in, but we got there like right at rope drop, so Minnie was still getting ready. So we got a picture with her on the way out. But yeah, just one of those basic button badges. They give these away for a number of things. Sadly, we didn't get any other ones this time. It wasn't an anniversary or a birthday, or certainly wasn't our first visit. So we only got the one Plaza Inn Button badge. But it's, not one. We both got one, obviously, but we didn't get any other button badges. But still, just, a nice little souvenir. And I do see occasionally people selling these at, like, conventions. So clearly there is a market for collecting them. But, it's another one for our collection. From here on out, it's all pin trading pins. Well, actually, they may not be. There's a Marvel one in here, so it may not actually be pin trading. But they're that style of pin, if nothing else. And we'll start off with the first one I grabbed out of the bag, which is a Pride pin. And I realize, because this is not shot in the order of things occurring, I made a comment in a Weekend Magic video a couple weeks ago that I had bought my last Pride item, and that was not false. This was the second Pride item I bought, and the only one I bought in the park. Of course, I bought the BB Proud figure on that first day, and I wasn't that impressed with the Pride collection pins this year, so I only planned on buying this one. It looked very nice. It's the rainbow with Mickey and Minnie and Goofy on it, and it just looked, nice and kind of straightforward. It is pin backed. It was a silver pin. I don't remember how much those cost, but you can look it up, I'm sure. And yeah, I just wasn't that impressed with the Pride collection pins this year. I mean, the Marvel one was kind of cool, but it was also kind of a large backing, and I didn't want to deal with it. And also, without the backing, it would be it would make less sense. But yeah, this one's got some nice glitter elements on it, and given that it is now July when this video releases, this should be the last we mention of Pride for the next, well, probably 10 months. I mean, some stuff comes out like in May, hence when I bought this. So probably not till next May will we look at anything from Pride again, which I don't know, might be a relief to some people. That's you if that's you. Next in our bag of pins is the Avengers Campus pin, and this is what I was talking about. I said they may not all be pin trading because, yep, it's a Marvel pin, so it is not a pin trading pin for whatever reason, or at least it's not a Mickey-backed pin. I'm sure you could still trade it if you wanted to, but I mean, I would imagine anybody in Disneyland, or rather in California Adventure, who wanted this pin would just go buy it. And yep, it's the Avengers Campus logo pin. It's sort of done in that pewtery style that I like. So I was a little disappointed. I went on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, of course. There was a video of that. And I really would have liked, I like things that shouldn't exist in our world. And I really would have liked a Tivan collection pin, or indeed anything sold in the gift shop for the Tivan collection. Because that gift shop, when it was Tower of Terror, had tons of stuff for Hollywood Tower Hotel. I have a robe and glass coasters that look suspiciously like cigarette ashtrays. I have toothpick holders that look suspiciously like shot glasses. I have a Do Not Disturb door sign, all the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And there was nothing, no souvenirs from the Tivan collection, which I'm reasonably sure in character he would want souvenirs. But I did pick up the Avengers Campus pin. I think it's, aside from the drink things, that's the only Avengers stuff I picked up on this trip. There wasn't just a lot of stuff that really got my attention. It seemed like a lot of the Avengers Campus merchandise was geared towards much younger audiences and towards people who are willing to spend $30 to $50 for Web Blasters DLC, which, I'm gonna be honest, had they had a way to purchase those in line, I probably would have. That's a huge lost opportunity on their part, that there's not, you stand in line for us it was about 45, 50 minutes. But for some people, they stand there for 2 or 3 hours. You should really have some merchandise sellers in the queue somewhere, just, to get people to impulse buy it while they're waiting and looking at it. Print some videos of how they work. It's, not that Disney needs any help fleecing more money out of their guests, but lost opportunity. The pin, though, the pin's nice, very basic, just Avengers Campus logo, metal background, double pin backed, not colored. It's actually $9.99, but I think I purchased this in the gift shop for the Mission Breakout. I do still miss Tower of Terror, though. Next in our bag of goodies is this. This is you can probably guess, a choice of my wife, not mine. And it is Mickey and Minnie wedding rings. Now, I'm sure it's intended for people who have, are going there on their honeymoon. And we weren't doing that, but we did go there on our honeymoon. We actually still have somewhere the Mickey and Minnie bride and groom ear hats from back then. Although we actually did that, we had them before the honeymoon. I think we picked them up a year earlier on a trip to Disneyland. But yeah, it's just a nice little pin. This was a yellow level one, so I think it was less expensive than the Pride pin there. It's smaller, so it makes sense. But it's just, I guess, heteronormative Mickey and Minnie wedding rings with Mickey's top hat and Minnie's little glittery bow. Lots of glitter on Minnie there. Lots of glitter. Very sparkly. But yep, nice little straightforward pin to go into more of my wife's part of the collection. Next is another of my wife's pins. And this one, again, not a color, it's a $17.99, double Mickey backed. I'd rather be at Disneyland because, well, I think that says it all, doesn't it? Yeah, it's nice, straightforward, some nice bright gold border there. But I mean, this is a thing you could wear at work every day of the week. So every time we go to Disneyland, we do have to get something that commemorates when we visited. Frequently, we've gone like on 50th and the 55th and the 60th and gotten stuff from those. Not the 65th, unfortunately. But no big anniversaries this year. It was, there's tons of stuff for the Walt Disney World, but not a lot of it at Disneyland. Not totally surprisingly. We did pick up this pin, the 2022 spinner pin. It's got Donald and Goofy and Mickey and Minnie, and it spins and it says 2022 in the middle. We actually have a similar fridge magnet from the 50th anniversary to this. It's a spinner that is from the Disneyland 50th anniversary. Now, oddly, as weighty as this is, see this, as weighty as this has only got a single pin back. This is a pretty heavy pin. It seems like it could have used a second one here to stabilize it. Because if you're going to put this on your lanyard, it's going to swing all over the place, even worse than just the lanyard's going to swing on its own. It was $14.99. And of course, you have to have something that commemorates every visit to let you know when you visited. And the detail work on this is nice. It's got Mickey and Minnie got the pie wedge eyes. I think they're supposed to, but I think the angle it's at, you just can't tell. But it looks like you probably can't see it on the camera because it gets blurry if I get that close. So there's like a little divot in the center of the black of the eye that I think is meant to be the pie wedge. But I honestly can't tell. I'm not wearing my glasses, nor am I going to break out a magnifying glass to get a good look at it. Still nice. It's got a blue background. Is that the electrical parade? No, it's just Disneyland, just the park. Because there's a Small World, some fireworks, castle. No, that's Space Mountain. A pirate ship, which I don't know if that's supposed to be Peter Pan or Pirates of the Caribbean. I think, see, it's very hard to hold this upright. Is that, I think that's King Arthur's Carousel, or it could be the Carousel, it could be the Critter Roundup in Pixar Pier. There's the castle. And then, what else do we have? This is very hard to turn around. What is that? Oh, I think it's the Alice in Wonderland ride. And the Ferris wheel from Pixar Pier. So we only have one thing definitely from DCA on here. Interesting choice. Yep. Nice pin. Goes there to commemorate the year. Next up, we have our intrepid explorer, adventurer, and member of the SEA himself, Dr. Indiana Jones. Yep, I know I showed this in the Downtown Disney video because I mistakenly thought that was Mara from the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, when of course it's clearly, obviously, done up as the fertility idol from Raiders. And yeah, I'm kind of a random pin really for them to have at that point. They hadn't released all those new Indiana Jones items yet. But it's done in that same pewter style like those Star Wars pins we looked at a few weeks ago on Weekend Magic. And again, I like that pewter looking style. Got a nicely detailed, sculpted Indy. It's not a flat pin like the Star Wars ones. It is carved. If I can get it so you can see, there's the depth to it. Not super well. It's not carved. I'm sure the original was carved. These are stamped, I'm sure. But yeah, it's that pewter style. Got Indy there, cracking the whip, getting the idol, and just being a genuinely nice metal pin. And this one was $12.99. And I don't remember if I purchased this on the first night or not. I know I looked at it on the first night, but I may not have purchased it until later. This may be like one of those last minute, we're leaving, you gotta buy one last thing kind of things. They do the same thing at SAC Anime, and purchased it at the Fantasia shop. But it's Indiana Jones. It would have had to come home with us eventually anyways. And next we have another something from the ride we couldn't go on because it was closed. Pirates of the Caribbean. Again, it's that pewter style, stamped, carved, pewter looking. I mean, it's not, I'm sure it's not pewter, but it looks of pewter. And has a little tiny, little fake gemstone there under the, can we get the light on it? You can see it, I think. It's just not super twinkly in the camera lens. But a little tiny gemstone there under the B in Caribbean. And it is the treasure pile skeleton. I have a Funko Pop of that. And yep, it says 55th anniversary. It is a limited release pin. I'm kind of surprised this wasn't available on Shop Disney, or if it was, I missed it, or it didn't look good in pictures, or at least not as good in pictures as it looks in real life. And yeah, just it's nice, very nice sculpt. Got the skeleton. I mean, it's being all kind of that pewter colored metal. It's a little hard to see what all you're looking at from a distance, but when you get close, there's a lot of detail there. And again, my camera doesn't like getting too close, so I don't think there's too much I can do for you without just getting a complete blur, which defeats the purpose. But trust me, it is a nice pin, and it does seem weird that they closed the Pirates of the Caribbean for its anniversary year, but I didn't look into why it was closed. Maybe something actually happened to it. Maybe it wasn't just a refurbishment. Maybe something broke badly. But hopefully next time we go, it'll be up and running again. And we'll get to ride on it then. And that's going to wrap it up. My bag is empty. There are no more Disneyland items to show. Which, of course, doesn't mean there's no more Disney stuff to show. We'll have stuff. Most Weekend Magics are all Disney stuff. So it's not the end of Disney on the channel, obviously. And someday we will go again, and there'll be another month worth of videos from that, I am sure. But that wraps up this trip, except for, again, there may be one or two more videos this coming week, finishing off stuff that I shot. But yeah, we're at the end of it. We do have this lovely collection of pins. We have a lot of pins added here. I mean, we've added a lot of pins in the last month because those Star Wars pins were quite a bit too, between the anniversary ones that they sold on Shop Disney and stuff we picked up in the park. We got quite a few Star Wars pins this time around. But yeah, it was a fun trip. Can't wait to go again. It won't be soon enough. But for now, at least, we are done. I hope you found this all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. If there is a pin here that you think is nicest, or even a piece of art that you think is nicest, let me know in the comments below which one your favorite is. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And in case you ever wonder where I would rather be,